You're watching Too Sharp with ET. I'm Nisha Podar, and your sharpest 5-minute update on the stories that matter in the world of business. Well, the top stories today: the news is tightening on India's quick commerce giants, and rare earth shock grips global auto sector. First, let's take it to the trouble which is brewing in the quick commerce business. Zomato's grocery arm Blinkit is in hot water after the Maharashtra Food and Drug Administration suspended its license for a dark store in Pune. Now, the FDA officials raided the Barner Balewadi facility and flagged multiple hygiene violations, including the lack of an FSSAI license, which expired goods as well as poor storage conditions. Earlier, you'll remember Zepto's Dharavi facility was also hit with similar crackdowns. Authorities discovered fungal growth on food and stock stored near stagnant water, as well as also temperature violations in the cold storage facilities. Now, the fallout has shaken investor confidence. Zomato's shares were down 0.6% at 255 rupees per share, and Swiggy's stock slid over a percent today. Swiggy's Instamart and Zomato's Blinkit are both major drivers in the quick commerce space. Meanwhile, Zepto's expected IPO is also on the anvil. Let's talk about the scale here. Now, Goldman Sachs values Blinkit at $13 billion, which is more than half of Zomato's market cap. Zomato had acquired, remember, Blinkit for just $500 million in the year 2022. So Swiggy's Instamart grew gross sales by 58%, but still posted an EBITDA loss of over 1,200 crore rupees in FY24. Zepto's burn rate stood at 660 crore rupees per month in January, dropping to 450 odd crores in March, and the company is targeting a steep reduction to 100 crore rupees burn rate per month, and that is expected, hopefully. Now, Big Basket, backed by Tata Digital, is valued at $3.2 billion, eyeing an IPO. Dunzo, once backed by Reliance, shut down its operations earlier this year, with founder Kabir Biswas moving to run Flipkart Minutes. So what's the big concern now growing? Food safety, rising losses, and a potential clash with Kirana stores, because traders' bodies are also questioning whether profit is trumping public trust. So the story doesn't end here. This space has seen way too many changes in too short a time. While we are spoiled for choice and with quick delivery, with mounting pressure, quick commerce may enter the slow lane with relaxed delivery time, attracting more competition in the space, which was earlier marked, remember, by speed, but the dynamics are changing as quickly as their deliveries were till some time back. Rare earth shock really grips the global auto sector. Let's talk about that. A different kind of supply chain shock is looming, and this time over rare earth minerals, which are very critical. Since April, China has tightened the export controls on key rare earth elements such as neodymium as well as dysprosium. These are used in a range of products, including electric vehicles, wind turbines, fighter jets, as well as smartphones. Now, the impact? Well, only 25% of export licenses have been approved so far. Ford halted its production at its Chicago plant. Suzuki temporarily paused Swift production due to magnet shortages. European as well as Japanese suppliers are also scrambling, with Hyundai reportedly stockpiling enough rare earths to last 1 year. Now, China produces, remember, 70% of the world's rare earths and processes 90% of it, including over half of the US output. Amid this, US-China trade talks are underway in London. The US is pushing for China to ease its grip in exchange for rolling back some of its own export controls. Now, closer to home, Maruti Suzuki says that it hasn't been impacted yet, but warns of a future squeeze. Now, this could be the third major supply disruption in 5 years that we have to deal with, following the COVID-19 pandemic as well as the chip shortage that we saw. Well, with that, it's a wrap on Too Sharp with ET. Thanks so much.